And we are live. Hello to all my BC WrestlePod nerds out there, and welcome to another rendition of the All Elite Ensemble review. your your weekly AEW review show here at BC WrestlePod. I am Mikey, El Jefe of BC WrestlePod, and joining me this evening, I have a dynamic duo of personalities that we are going to, talk about the ups and downs and the all around.
No, wait, we can't say that. That is trademarked by another group. We cannot do ups and downs, Mikey. That is another bald-headed person.
Well, guess what? Me and him have beef. Just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding. No, I would never fight with Simon Miller. I feel like if we were to beef, it would be who can outdo the other one by giving the most compliments. I'm not even going to lie. I love Simon Miller. But, of course, joining us this evening, of course, is Mr. Eddie Kingsbread himself, JVL. Happy to have you here, sir. Missed you last week, but,
I missed you too, but it was well needed, as I've talked about with you guys offline there, because it came to fruition some things we needed.
Yes, and then, of course, joining being able to join me for a couple of things last week and back with AEW this week is Mr. Benny, and the past week has been interesting. We talked about AEW. We let the full twinkness fly when we talked about Effie's Big Gay Brunch this past Saturday. And now we're here to talk about AEW again. I'm happy to have you here, my friend.
Let's ride again.
Party. Woo! Anyway,
greetings and salutations, friends and internet people. Let's rock and roll.
Heck yeah. But before we do all that, really quickly, y'all who are here, y'all already know the drill. If you would like to subscribe to our YouTube or follow us on Twitch or Kick, whatever your preferred video watching / consumption platform is, you should go ahead and do that because we love you for it. But if you want to, you be able to, participate in our little community because you don't have a lot of time to watch videos, but if you have the time to doom scroll ever so often, then follow us on the social medias at BC WrestlePod, where you get something a little bit different. You get our weekly report cards for the TV shows and the pay-per-views. You also get sneak peek previews of episodes going down, so you can figure out, should I watch this episode? And most of the time it's yes. Unless you are a program that airs on Mondays and Fridays, because then you should answer yourself, we'll see.
No, you stick with us, and we'll take care of you on that one. We give good reviews, and that's all you need to know from those ones. And we don't go to Saudi Arabia like them or half the comedians in the U.S.
That is very true.
Yeah, we'll save you the 4 hours of commercials and just give you the facts,
Lord have mercy. Yeah, I mean, we have everything here. On Tuesdays, we have a podcast where all of us enjoy the product. On Wednesdays, I also enjoy the product for our double reviews. And Fridays, I love the product, but we talk copious amounts of crap about it, but that's because we love it.
Crap.
And yeah, we love the company that we review on Friday because we're doing a watch along on Sunday. More to come on that later. But chav. Oh, wrong show. Anyways, we also have some merchandise, at our shop at bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com, where we have a plethora of goodness, which includes, our newly dropped for the rest of the year because we got some cool collections. We have our fall collection, our pumpkin suplex latte. We also have, just in time for Latino Heritage Month, our Festival of Lucha collection. And then
Festival My Lucha.
Mm-hmm. And yes, listen, we're in the mood because there was this episode of Dynamite and Collision had our favorite femboys, and we love both groups individually. But just in time for the spoopy month of October, we also have finally it came to fruition, our Botox Skeletor shirt, an ode to Grindhouse and a certain wrestler in the Fed. We love her though. She's great. And then for a little bit more lightheartedness and for a little bit more of you comedic folks, we have our Monsters of the Mat collection, where we literally took our saying of Squatch match and we put them in a dance party with your typical Halloween monster for a monster mash on the mat. So you can get all that at our shop at shop.com. Link in the description. Go. And also, you can find all our other stuff there. Alrighty, I'm done with all of that. Let's get into
so much stuff gotten down there. So much stuff. We're ready. We're going.
We're right. So let's get into it because we got we got the 6-year anniversary of Dynamite and a Collision to talk about. So let's begin with the 2.5 hours that was Dynamite 6-year anniversary, which what did not feel like 2.5 hours because I felt like wow, they actually gave everything. Well, mostly everything, an equal amount of time. And then they're like, oh, okay. So, and then this week's Collision is back to what we're normally used to. We got like 18,000 matches to talk about.
What I found hilarious about that is like, it was like an extra 10 minutes, like on the overrun, like, and then just take your time tonight. Stretch it out.
Oh my goodness. So let's get into our 6-year anniversary of Dynamite, which is crazy to say that this company has already been around. Well, it's been around for 5 years and now Dynamite has hit 6 years. I'm like, it just seemed like yesterday. We were just starting out.
Oh my God. I was watching Dark and Rise on YouTube.
Yes, Dark and Elevate and all that good stuff. It's like, those were some times. I'll be real. I've only been watching last 4 or 5 years. My first AEW match I have ever watched was the Britt Baker Thunder Rosa Lights Out St. Patty's Day Smash match, where we got the iconic Britt Baker DMD blood face all over.
Love it.
We love it. So we kick off our 6-year anniversary of Dynamite with what I loved before is the pre-match promos and segments. The Young Bucks are now broke, and they are, and I love it. They got some money. They blew it at the casino, and now for this past week, they were introduced as the Broke Bucks. I love it so much. It is fantastic.
It's spectacular. You need to have, honestly, I was wondering how long they'd give the Bucks their money for, and they've just been so much more fun without having that backing. So it gives them a reason to actually play around with some storylines. I'm loving that we can still do that.
Right. Well, I mean, the Broke Bucks are in the ring because they're like, all right, well, we're poor, so let's just get this over with, because we kicked things off with our first official match, which is a special trios match in which we had, of course, the Broke Bucks teaming up with the walking weapon himself, Josh Alexander, and taking on, of course, the team, our favorite tag team right now, Brodito, and the returning Kenneth Omega. So Kenneth is back for this one, which I was like, all right, I love this match. I'm not going to lie. Well, every week, Brodito continued to surprise me on how I was like, all right, they're doing their spots, but it's different because usually Bandito is the one that gets thrown over Brody's shoulders onto the enemy. And Bandito's like, no, we're not going to do that. And then this man picks up a whole Brody King and throws him like that. I'm like, Bandito, you more and more, you continue to show me why you're my favorite wrestler right now. I was like, I can't. And again, I also like that. I like the combination of the Bucks and Josh. I'm not even going front. I actually really like them as a combo. And I was like, Josh Alexander, I have missed you doing what you do best and just being awesome. I'm biased. I love Josh Alexander. I really do.
I honestly think this match was summed up in only one move for me. You've got Kenny Omega sitting back there on the ropes, going nuts. Bandito goes, no, we're switching it up. And he picks up Brody King and slams him onto one of the Bucks. And I'm like, Bandito is strong. And he's dealing with a bunch of different injuries. But damn, dude.
Seriously.
And you can see Brody King I don't know what this is like. And then he gets up after, he's like, oh, that's what that feels like.
Brody
What have I
King's
been
just
doing
like,
to people?
yeah, exactly. I love this, and of course, the combo finisher from Brotito and Kenny to get the win here, and I was just like, claps all around.
Very beautiful, beautiful.
This venue from like the outset, like I was like, this looks like what somebody thinks a wrestling arena looks like from memory.
Yeah, like someone drew this in their notebook as a child.
Yeah, or like created it in the arena editor in WWE 2K. Like,
Jesus.
like, but like, man, this was so much fun. Like, I know we joke around a lot about the PWG party matches,
Mm-hmm.
but if this wasn't the most PWG party match of all PWG party matches, this one was it. Like,
This is the closest we've gotten to the match where because of Jushin Thunder Liger, they all walk around with like thumbs up their butts and flip each other over. So
yes, exactly. Even Rex Knox was the officiator.
I love it. It's so much
Yeah.
fun. I mean, this was a fun match. Of course, Kenny and Brodito pick up the victory here, but oh no, things weren't over because, we have some sour grapes here with the Bucks and Josh Alexander, who decide, shocker, because then Kenny, gets attacked, but Kenny ends up being okay, which, is the thing that Kenny does. Kenny gets on the mic and he cuts this promo to kind of like it's the 6-year anniversary of Dynamite. And we're just like, oh, Kenny, we love you. And we're excited for everything that's about to transpire for this upcoming week, which is currently happening right now as we do this review. But of course, Kenny does the obligatory, kiss goodnight, or I bid you adieu, all that good stuff. Bang, lights go out, and I'm just like, all right, AEW, what are you about to show me? What is about to go down? And I was just like, I haven't really been paying attention to news, so I'm not really going to. And then, well, again, this happens. Here's okay.
just skip right over it.
Yep. Just jump over it.
Well, I mean, it's Jack Perry and Kenny Omega fighting a little bit, right? And so I was just like, I hate that they had a whole placard where it's like Jungle Express is returning, and then they were here for like 20 seconds. And I was like, all right, we're gonna see what happens. But this is what we're gonna talk about. He's back.
That's awesome.
Because the Don Fallis family needs another member.
Lord help us. This family is getting better. It's getting bigger. We need to have. Here's what I need. We need a whole panoramic, erotic painting of like a panoramic of the whole entire crew, just like shirtless. Like
they need to be able to go to a venue and have somebody paint the ceiling with like the Sistine Chapel of just all of them up there.
just literally have the Sistine. I love it.
We knew this. We saw this coming a mile away from the fact that he had left the Fed in auspicious things because of a wellness policy violation. And honestly, where else was he going to go? But
yeah.
What's going to happen here is he's not going to get used. He's a cancer to the locker room. We all know this in a lot of ways. And he's not being put with his brother. So what the hell are they doing?
I'm like,
I don't know. I'm gonna disagree with that one.
Okay. You're wrong, but okay.
Well, wrong is an opinion, right?
I've been spouting facts this whole time. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
There's a reason why Andrade, even though he's he has a track record, right? Of being like, I'm done here. I'm gonna do whatever I can to get out of my contract. And literally, if you go just do a quick Google search, you'll realize that he's done it in every major promotion. So it's not like, but like the reason is that he keeps getting another job is because he's a really great wrestler. Like,
It's true. It's very true, and he is. And also, that sidebar, the reveal, and like, did they not think we knew who this was from the mask he was wearing? But either way,
I know. I saw so many people like I was so confused. I was like, he wears it every week. He was
Yeah.
The audience really threw me off because I was looking at the audience. They're like, "Oh my gosh, who?" Like at first, they're like, "Who is this in the black mask?" I'm like, "Come on, y'all." I was just like, "Come on, y'all. We've been. Why are we acting brand new?"
And Benny,
in AEW.
and Benny, I agree with you. He's a very talented wrestler. But when you can't get your personal life in order and you continue to make things harder because you just aren't happy with whatever is going on, you end up dragging down everyone else around you and making it harder for people to be there. And, you know, talent gets you so far, but if you can't be a locker room person or learn to deal with the fact that, unfortunately, no one seems to have any creative that works with you for whatever reason, you got to either suck it up and work for a while, or you have to go find other ways and go somewhere else. And he's been doing that, and it's not been working for him.
Yeah, but like, it seems to be that this locker room is reasonably tight right now, and I don't know if they're going to allow him to be as ruly as he was when somebody else was being ruly. You know,
I mean, no one knows.
We'll see. But I don't really. I try not to pay attention to that kind of stuff anyway. I'm like,
on this time, he's not distracted by the fact that his wife is in another company, so who knows?
Be like, ooh. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so Andrade is back. I would like to see him also because the other option was, oh, maybe he could go back to CMLL. So hopefully we get to see him in CMLL too, because he's already won a championship in Mexico in one of the indie promotions like last week. So hopefully we get to
they're running back a AAA Mania, match with Omega and Andrade here.
For reals. But Andrade is back. He's part of the Don Fallis family, as if they didn't need already another heel. I'm just like, Tony, stop putting all the heels with Don. Like, stop putting all the heels with Don.
It gets worse.
It does.
Think about this. We've got all the heels in the Don Fallis family, and you know it's in a lot of ways League of Nations. It's all the pretty much American heels, and then you've got like the white power group with the Death Riders on the other side.
Ooh, I don't like that.
I don't either, but it's turning into that now. If you've got the two giant families of it, like if we look at this I don't want to go down this road, but like it's a prison index. We've got the white power folks over here, and we've got the Latin Kings and more over here, and it's just crazy.
Wow.
And Tony, whether he's thinking about it or not, is putting this out there because it's scaring me more and more how much the Death Riders are turning into basically like a very biker gangy type of. Yeah, no, I'm not liking where it's going with that.
No.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like I saw somebody compare it to the NWO a little while ago, and I was like, it's just a fair comparison because like it's like, you know, in the modern era, who else are you gonna compare to just a giant group to? But like, you know, it's sort of starting to feel like more like the Heenan family because like you got like your lower tier guys like your Rocky Romero, your Lance Archer, the guys who really need a mouthpiece, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to on Collision because they got cheered when they came out.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you got like, you know, Takeshita, Fletcher, and obviously Okada's like way up here, you know. I don't know where
not according to Takeshita. Takeshita thinks that Okada's down here.
Hey, you know what? It's going to be very interesting what the result is tonight with this double Jeopardy, like eliminator style match that they got going on.
Yeah,
Which I was like, can we get more of these?
No.
At first, when I saw the placard, I was like, wait, how does that? Okay, but I figured it out and I researched it. I was like, okay, so here's what's happened. So essentially, it's a tag team match, but But there is some stipulations. If Takeshita and Okada win this match against Brodito, they get a shot at the tag titles. If Brodito win, then I think one of them, depending on how they figure it out, they get a shot at
Okada's title.
At Okada's title. So I was just like, this is why I wish Takeshita had some gold right now, because then we can do it.
Wait, doesn't he though? He has gold from another company, doesn't he?
That's true. And then hopefully by next week, Benny, we might see Takeshita be walking around with some IWGP World Heavyweight gold.
Yeah. Imagine if they put the belt on Okada, and then like Okada and Takeshita get the tag titles. Then you get a tag title feud.
Lord help us. So,
but just getting it back together. Don't put the belt on somebody who doesn't need it.
For real. But all to say, Andrade is back. He's part of the Don Fallis family. He's not the only person that we're going to get. So we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. Well, let's talk about it right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, so we get our TNT Championship match. The Proto Star, Kyle Fletcher, defending his title against whatever man, Orange Cassidy. So, of course, this was originally going to be Kyle Fletcher versus Hologram, but Hologram, it's according to what I've read, because I've seen various reports, it seems that it is not necessarily Hologram that is, Hologram is injured, unfortunately.
He's injured, yeah.
But his clone is not, because there was also some conflicting reports that El Clone was injured.
Clon.
But anyways, I had fun with this match. This was fun, and I'm going to be saying that a lot. It was fun.
Well, did we expect anything less from Orange Cassidy working against Fletcher? I mean, the two of them know how to put a great match on. We were going to see a lot of stuff back and forth, and Fletcher let his weird stuff breathe. It was great.
Absolutely. So this was a lot of fun. Towards the tail end of the match, though, Hologram comes out, and we're like, ooh, is he about to help Orange Cassidy? No, he turns on Orange Cassidy. Why, Hologram? Why? And then we find out, like in an M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong film, what a twist.
We find out that El Clon can't get his costume off and is ripping at the shirt, and it's not coming off, and it's not coming off, and it's not coming off.
When I saw the black, I was just like, what in the Power Rangers villain is this? Like, what is this?
Well, apparently it's Areth.
Yes. So it is confirmed that that the clone, however you want to pronounce El Clon, stupid name. Anyways, is the wrestler on the Independence in Lucha Libre himself, Arez, who I love. Formerly, who knows? He might still be able to do so. Arez, part of Los Desperados on the Indies, which is him, Gringo Loco, and Jack Hartwheel. So that's always a lot of fun. But now he is signed with AEW as El Clon.
He also wasn't he like the former tag team partner of the guy playing Hologram?
Yes, when they were both in Mexico, they were they got a lot of history together. This like 2 decades worth of history together, and they're on good terms. I should put that, because when I've come to learn with Lucha Libre, if people have history with each other, it's either they're on good terms or it's on site every time they see each other. Yeah. Because these luchadors do not play. They do not play.
So who does Andrade have history with other than everyone in the company? Because he is just on with everybody.
Well, I mean, with this, we'll get into it a little bit later, because a certain Latin wrestler being released by the Fed, somebody in AEW has made their intentions know that it's time to expand LFI a little bit. So I'm like, yes, do it.
Yeah. Don't put Andrade and Rouge together. Just don't
do it. That's bad blood. That's the example of on site.
But they're brothers.
I know, but still.
How can you recreate the Lucha Brothers? How can you recreate the Lucha Brothers without putting real brothers together?
It's wild, but it reveals that it's not Hologram, it's El Clon. He joins the Don Fallis family. I'm like, Lord help us. This is like, we are literally about to get a Cheaper by the Dozen 3 sequel just from these guys alone. I was just like, I don't know if I'm ready. Steve Martin needs to come back and be like, these are all my wrestling children now.
Kyle, El Clon.
Kyle,
Yo-
El Clon.
Oh, and by the way, yo soy hechicero.
By the way, El Clone, or El Clon, it sounds like a generic gas station ice cream. Like,
you know what? I'm gonna take it a step further. El Clon sounds like the cheapest ice cream you could buy for the palotero, man, which is like anybody who has been in any sort of, I don't know, California, Texas, anywhere that there's a big Latin population, the palotero man, for those of you who don't know, is somebody who sells like the Mexican snacks and ice cream from his little cart. And I love it so much. And I was like, yeah, El Clon sounds like the cheapest ice cream you could buy from the palotero man.
I was thinking that it's like, when you choose in like No Mercy or something else, you choose like the luchador style, and it's what pre-populates in for name of wrestlers El Clon.
For real. It literally is the name of wrestler generator. Oh my goodness.
When El Clone, I guess we're calling him, or El Clone, came
we can
out.
call him Arez too, like honestly, because that's who it is.
I was like, okay, like, because it's like they didn't hide the red. They did not.
No.
Good job.
No.
But like it was right there, right in front of us.
What they should have did is instead of wearing,
I literally got it in my notes that shirt is undefeated.
It is. It's fully undefeated.
For reals, it's crazy. Sorry, I'm reading the comments right now too. Oh my goodness. Dungeon Master Erica says luchador name generator. That's what it really is. That's
El Clon.
El Clon. I can't. I was just like, what I appreciate though, even though hologram is on the shelf for right now because of injury, I am glad that they decided, well, we're just gonna pivot as best as we can, even if the moment didn't necessarily hit the way that it was supposed to.
Oh, it hit exactly as it was supposed to because it's the Dom Fallis family. It just comes short of actually being good.
Yeah, can you guys add in some women because it's a little bit of a sausage fest, and that's
when
me.
The head of your family is called Dom Fallis. I mean, seriously.
I don't know because I'm not listen. I am not here to kink shame anyone or their preferences, but based on the amount of homoerotic portraits that we have seen of this family and its various members over the last 2.5 years, I'm like, I think we know where Don goes. I was like, I think we know what he about. But you know what? We don't shame people on this channel.
Nope.
I'm still waiting. I'm waiting because, there's no way we're going to have a storyline to get her to go there anyways, but Trent Beretta is part of the Dom Fallis family. We need Evil Sue.
Yeah.
Who like pulls up in a Mustang or something.
Instead of the white van, it's a black van. Wow. I love the pun. El Desperado. El Desperado.
Erica, that's perfect.
Oh my goodness. I love you so much. I can't. This is fantastic. Alrighty, we spent enough time on these, on Don Fallis and his whole homoerotic family. So let's keep it going because we still got a lot to talk
got a lot to get to.
Yeah,
we
really
got a
nice
lot
here,
to get
apparently.
to. So, I mean,
yes,
like this. And I am so happy. And Mercedes Monet, like leaning into the pop culture, she's like, it's not no, it's nar. Listen, as somebody who teaches elementary school children, I was just like, I feel seen. Minnie Monet is back.
I'm so glad Minnie Monet is back.
Harley Cameron.
I'm a bit confused though because like Harley Cameron's been tied to Chris Statlander so tightly. Like, why all of a sudden is she bringing Minnie Monet back?
Listen, Harley Cameron, she's an equal opportunist lover. She loves everybody, and she's gonna be with everybody. And you know what? Get down with your bad self, Harley. She literally is friends with everyone, and honestly, I love her for it. But we learned 2 things from this promo, right? Number one, Title Tuesday. Miss Monet is going to have an open challenge for TBS Championship. There are rumors that a certain Miss Dakota Kai might be popping up in here, which would be amazing. I'm just saying. But who knows? We're in Daly's place, so who knows? There's a whole plethora of talent in Florida that we
No
can.
spoilers, by the way, chat.
Dungeon Mistress Erica hand puppets are so lesbians. So that's number one. Number two, because the women's tag team championships are a thing that is going to be crowned by the end of this year.
So pretty. So pretty.
It's so pretty. Harley Cameron, we're starting to tease maybe her and Mercedes. But, I mean, Harley has a whole plethora of options to pick in terms of tag team partners.
I mean, if anyone between Anna Jay and Ty Mello go down, Harley fits in there, too, because she and Anna were doing stuff. So
for reals. But I'm so happy Minnie Monet.
Do we? I mean, after what happened at Mystery Wrestling this past month, do we think maybe there's a Final Girls in the works where Megan Bayne isn't part of this thing?
You know what? I mean, it's not truly the Final Girls because Bunny's no longer there, and I don't think she would go.
Well, I'm saying, but Bunny could.
Well, I mean, we gonna talk about Penelope and Megan in a little, during this review, because I'm like, interesting pair up. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But open challenge tonight is happening. Minnie Monet is back. I need another rap video of Minnie Monet. I'm just saying. It's so good. A lot of it. This match, Joe does not. This match can be summed up as literally a telltale game. Samoa Joe will remember this.
That is a very good point.
When we talk about pettiness in terms of men's wrestlers in AEW, Joe is the pettiest man, and I love him for it. Like, he don't forget shit, and he's gonna let you know when he is mad and angry. And that is exactly what happened after this match. The match itself was a lot of fun. I figured that Hangers and the Ops were going to win because I'm like, Claudio's there. He can take this pin. That's the crazy part. I was like, Wheeler's not here. Daniel Garcia just joined them. So, Claudio, you about to eat this pin.
Well, on top of the fact also, like, this is just basically setting up weird rivals. Like, you can't have Danny eat the pin, you can't have Moxley eat the pin, and you have Yuta based around something else. Like, who else? It truly is, get the bald guy to do it. So, we've been asking the same question that Dungeon Mistress Erica asks quite a bit about a lot of these promo photos. It definitely looks like the three guys that walked out of a locker room together that definitely were not doing homoerotic things, and the three guys in class that are just the meanest to everybody else.
They are the male versions of the plastics. I can't. I'm so mad at you, Erica, that I can't unsee it. I'm so mad, and you're right. I'm so mad. I can't. Anyways, so the match itself was fun, but it's what's happened afterwards because again, Powerhouse Hobbs is playing Peacemaker. Joe is angry that Hangman Adam Page, tagged himself in to steal the pin, and is all angry about it. So a miniature push-shoving match happened. So I was just the girls are fighting.
But on top of that, why did Page have to do that? He hasn't been showing that egotistical side for a while. So for me, this felt kind of out of place. Yeah, of course, he's got to tag himself in to get a pin. You're the champion, man. Why do you have to do that?
I did find that a little weird. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it was a little out of character.
It was a little out of character. And then I thought about, I'm willing to give it a little bit of grace because my explanation and chalking up to it is just we have a pay-per-view in 2 weeks. We got to find the fastest way to get Hangman on this card.
You're champion.
You're champion. But you could have gone, because there is history between Hangman and Joe. You could have went down this road a couple different ways except for this, but Antonio Khan is like, oh crap, we have a pay-per-view in 2 weeks. Activate plan Triple Z.
This seems vaguely familiar of the pre kind of Renaissance time of AEW again, where we're scrambling at the end of the year to book shows.
I was like, listen, one promotion's already doing that for their monthly pay-per-views. We don't need all of these to start doing it. But you know what? Is this match going to bang? Yes, it's going to absolutely bang because this match is going to be fire. And I mean, that's what's set up in this backstage promo. First of all, listen, we are called the Biconics for the reason. So this lighting on Hangman. Anyways.
Any lighting on Hangman or not at all.
Benny, basically, you just want to feel around to find a Hangman?
Indeed.
Ride this cowboy. Anyways. So
I've saved a horse in my day.
Yes, you did. Be like, ooh. Oh my goodness. But Hangman doesn't, he's like, you know what? Me and Joe got beef, so we're gonna make this match official. So at Wrestle Dream for the AEW World for the men's championship, it is Hangers versus Mimosa No Mames Joe, as I call it.
Well, so here's the other thing to ask. Someone who's got history with both of them is MJF. Do we see a fleeting return of the Devil because he'll be done filming stuff by that point, messing with either of them or hooking, basically trading Joe in for Paige or whatever? Like, do we see something coming that way?
We could eventually.
After Joe,
I don't know. It was on my mind that he's not back right now, but it's far enough out he might be able to find a way to get back.
One thing I want to say about Joe and Hangman is that Joe's one of those guys that he's such a believable person at this point that you just need a little bit of this, and he's he's a bad guy. Because he's walking around grumpy always anyway. So
always
just needs a match to light him up. And there was a backstage segment a couple last week, and these three were talking, and Hangman says something about yeah, when you guys helped me win my title, and Joe stops and looks at his belt, and that's when the lights go on.
Right.
A minute.
Hold on.
This is the type of layered storytelling I love.
I mean, how much do we want to see a nope walkaway spot during the buckshot lariat?
Oh man, or the no look moonsault to the outside.
Yes. We need a good nope spot. we need a good spot like that.
Well, no one's going to top, John Cruz ever for that. So,
for real.
Oh God.
Renee, I love you, but this photo does not do you justice in this screenshot. But that is okay. She's like, "What is happening?" I love Renee though. By the way. Yes, Renee. Outfits are on fleek, girl. They on point.
Well, she's always got that, but in general, yeah, I think that in general she just was trying to give him room, and Paige kept getting closer and closer to her. I'm like, dude, come on, just back off just a little bit.
I was just like, listen, you just had this match. You probably smell. So, or who knows? Maybe not.
Alcohol. It's just alcohol in the breath.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I would. I mean, at least he don't smell. At least he doesn't smell like he burnt someone's house down recently, so we're good. Oh my goodness.
Yet.
Who knows? We'll see what happens with all that. But we got to move on though because, yeah, I love this picture.
This was better than it had any right to be, and that's saying a lot because it was just so much fun.
Yes, Ty. I don't want to say your previous matches were bad, but girl, this was really good. I was like, yes. There's a reason that you are been here forever. You had a whole baby and came back too, girl. You had a whole baby and raised it, and we're just here. Also, Tony is amazing, and I'm gonna wait until we get to Collision because I was like, oh, I think we're getting to possibly the end of the Timeless character, which I'm gonna discuss a little bit when we get to Collision, but. This match was officially scheduled and made the day of, which is okay because originally we were going to see Tony Storm in action, and then it just so happened that thanks to a social media, yes, Erica, both of them are great. But
my God, they're amazing.
The timeless Tony Storm character has probably been the best iteration of Tony Storm in her career, and dare I say, I think it's probably the best modern women's character in like any federation right now.
Which has carried AEW for the last year and a half to 2 years. Like, she truly redefined and was at the spearhead of making it fun to watch AEW again.
And Ty is just a Brazilian martial artist wrestler who will kick your ass, and she's great too. Like, we love her. She's so
yes,
good.
we do.
This match was a lot of fun, and again, I keep saying that about every match, but literally, this is fun. Tony's great. She's always great. Ty's, this is probably one of your best matches since returning from, being a mom for the last year and a half. I'm just like,
she was finally ready. She was finally ready. The rust was off. She was ready to go.
Which makes me excited. I'm like, crown TJ as champs. I'm just saying.
It's made for them, honestly.
For reals. I had a fun time with this match, though. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for somebody who's been around the entire, I guess he came in probably year one, but Ty Mello, basically had no TV time in NXT, right, when she came in, and for her to be this good, after what 4 or 5 years, she's really come a long way. Is what I mean. But NXT UK Tony Storm was pretty great.
Oh yeah, yeah. But this is she just had so much more fun than just being Tony Storm. Oh, yeah. Like, this is definitely an evolution of letting her have some fun, amazing, creative juices flowing.
Definitely. And with RJ is a big hand in that too,
Oh yeah.
RJ City having these great. RJ City's just great in general, but yeah, he's him and Bryan Danielson Bryanson, as I like to call him. Both of them are very good for the locker room. So this was fantastic. I had a great time overall. Really quickly, Goa beat up the Swirl. I was like, no, Swirl. Blake Christian, Lee Johnson. Goa destroys them. Hurt Syndicate come out. And Title Tuesday, tonight, we're getting a street fight. I'm like, oh boy.
I'm so happy to see Goa getting so much more time to do stuff. I will ask, total sidebar, when do we think that we're going to get Cedric Alexander in at some point soon, right? That he's coming?
It might still be up in the air.
I don't know. They keep pushing to get him there.
Yeah. He's also married to Big Swole, and I don't know if that whole thing.
True.
Yeah, because Big Swole.
I'd love it. Don't get me wrong. I'd love it. It's the whole group.
Yeah. So, I mean, not much to say about this. We're getting a trios street fight on Title Tuesday, which is currently happening now. So, yeah. We move on, though, because once again, for the second time in Dynamite, the girls are fighting. This sets up the match happening at Title Tuesday, but Takeshi and Okada, I'm like, again, I want the level of delusion that Don Fallis is on. I'm like,
just jab a screwdriver in your top of your forehead, and then you're fine.
Right. This Takeshi was fantastic in this segment. Me and him? No way.
No.
Oh man, Okada, so he can do no wrong by it.
Wow, he couldn't do wrong. I feel like they're dragging this out just a little bit longer than they probably should to let Takeshi have room for the G1, but this needs to be paid off sometime soon. There needs to be a split, and I feel like it's not going to just be these two. It's going to be civil warfare between the family.
So, really quickly, put on my conspiracy theory hat. I think what should happen is that they lose, due to either they can't get on the same page or Takeshita just walks away from Okada or something, or just leaves him there, or Okada walks away from Takeshita. So, which means Brodito, one of them gets the challenge for Okada's belt. This writes Takeshita off for about a week or two because he has to go to Japan to be at King of Pro Wrestling next week, where he's facing Zack for the title.
Which is going to be amazing.
Oh, that match is going to be so good. I'm still waiting for whenever New Japan wants to upload Historic X over 3, with Stardom and New Japan going to China and wrestling. So that looked like a fun card too, but I digress. So yeah, the girls are fighting, and I want the delusion of Dawn Phallus all the time because that seems like a great time.
Well, can we get to a point where Dom actually has to make a choice and to either deceive either one of them or do something about that, or they turn on him? Who knows?
Because Dom continues to, say that Okada is amazing, Takeshi is amazing, both of his, boys are amazing. I felt icky saying that phrase, given everything that has happened. But boys, we're going to get to him a little bit later. And Erica, if you still stick around for the whole review, trust me, you're going to love Mr. Castle.
Look up Dalton Castle, please. You will have so much fun with him and his backstory and everything he's done and why he wrestles.
We're also going to talk about the, the MXM collection, which we're going to discuss in a little bit.
Yes, Erica, they really are.
They really, really are. Both men and Joshi women's wrestling, like for reals. But yeah, so for Don, it needs to get to a shit or get off the pot moment. He needs to make a decision, like who is his favorite, and tell me why it's going to be Okada.
Well, it's going to be Hechicero because Hechicero, he is Hechicero.
Oh Lord. Sidebar: if you have not, y'all need for reals. Y'all need to go watch the Pokemon and CMLL collab show that they had last week because that shit was amazing.
We caught them all.
It's so good. Anyways, moving on. Main event time. Listen, if we can get more mixed tags like this, I am here for a mixed tag division. No, we don't need championships quite yet. But can I just say, it's not necessarily Marina Shafir in a singles match in the women's division, but it's her actually in the ring wrestling. So I was
so excited.
Progression. And I was just like, oh, this is about to be good. And this was good. And this was fun. So Darby Allin and our AEW Women's World Champion, Chris Statlander, Miss Stratlander, if she's as her moniker on her t-shirt now, which is amazing, taking on Death Riders in the form of "Tonight will be the night that I fall for you," Wheeler Yuta, and "You can put me in the mother's milk anytime," Marina Shafir. They're like, listen, Muscle Mommy is Marina Shafir. And I was just like, Roddy, you're a lucky man. Anyways.
When she was out there, like, ready to go. This is almost the Marina Shafir we've seen in, like, Defy and Evolve and all that stuff. Like, I'd love to see this more often.
She's just like, she literally, it's hair up, square up, knock a bitch out. Like, no nonsense. All straight, no chaser. Like, this was so much fun. And yeah, the spot where we got thumbtacks into the bare feet, I was like,
we saw that coming a mile away.
Well, yes, but even still, I was just like, that's someone's kink right there. But the close-up shot, cameraman, y'all got the close-ups. You got the shots for this one. There's money screenshots in this match.
The internet went wild with this. We know that.
Yes, this was, again, I want more mixed tags like this. This was great.
It was a great way to debut it back, not put Statlander and her title in danger completely, but showcase a lot of things here, and of course, have a interesting ending to it too.
Which, we go. What in the John McClane?
It seriously was, and then of course, John McClane was teamed up with our lovely Hans Gruber over there. But this, and then Tony Storm. Oh my God, the ending's so good.
I love Darby in the first picture. You have to kind of look at it a little bit, but Darby's like, "Stat, what the hell? We're in the middle of stuff."
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you doing?" His facial. Oh man, Darby with the memes this week too. But ultimately, it would be Chris and Darbs who win, but Tony and Chris are staring. Darby's like, "What the hell, man?" and then Pac and Darby gets choked out. I mean, which is fair play because Darby set John Moxley on fire.
Well, after he got put in a coffin, but still, but also, I cannot get used to short-haired Pac.
I was like, I don't like this.
It looks like a helmet.
I was like, bro, I did not know you can throw. Like,
also, I've been like warning people for a long time that like they're like, why does Pac doesn't wear? Why doesn't Pac wear clothes? And it's like, this is why. Because
he looks weird in clothes.
He looks weird in clothes.
He's beating people up in loafers and dress socks. Okay.
He looks like he's a reject from the early days of the Shield.
No,
he does.
I know,
he's got the John Moxley comb front, which didn't work for him then, and he's got like the loafers and the sort of tactical long sleeve shirt because he can't fit his thick neck into a turtleneck.
I was thinking a little bit more like corporate Pac,
So again, I know that the Joe and Hangman is probably going to main event because it's the main title, but I'm dead serious. I feel like Mox and Darby should be main eventing the show.
Probably.
It's the I Quit match. Listen, that whole match, when we do the review, I already know I'm going to pull a whole SNL Stefan skip, be like, this match had everything. It had chairs, flamethrowers, like everything. Oh my goodness.
Hepatitis C, Hepatitis B, Hepatitis A.
John Moxley sneezed and he was bleeding everywhere. Somebody said, happy. So we're continuing the feud. the way to describe Pac. I can't. I love it. I can't. But that's how we end off. That's how we end off Dynamite. Now let's get through Collision because this was a regular 2-hour show and they jam-packed like a whole show and what felt like a pay-per-view into one.
Any show with Dalton Castle and the Outrunners, I'm in.
For reals. We had all the queer-coded wrestling in this show because we had all the queer-coded wrestlers on Collision, honestly.
Yeah, which we love.
Yeah, which we do love. This is not one of them.
No, but this is, I'm excited for this kind of because the last time they faced each other when Pac had long hair and looked like he's supposed to, this was one of the best matches of the night. So you can't go wrong with this.
So excited. And I was just like, run this back. And then I'm trying to remember because they also faced off at a Double or Nothing like 3-4 years back too.
Yeah, for the original All-Atlantic title when Pac won it.
So good.
Yeah.
That match was so good.
And so I think they're 1-1, actually.
Yes, they are.
It's been years, but this is the rubber match.
No. Sorry, Mike.
It's you know what? You are perfectly okay.
Hey, did you guys catch what Kyle
Jesus
said?
Christ.
That looks like the RNC meetup secretly with their grinder connect.
Yep. You won't tell anyone about this. Now get in my car.
Be like, well, mommy, why is that car rocking back and forth? I'll tell you when you're older.
It's because the right is getting fucked by the left.
Heyo.
Oh my god.
Hey, you know what? We are the Biconics, and like the words of Trixie Mattel, we do what we do because this is our show. In the glorious words of Trixie and Katya's show, this is All Elite Ensemble. This is our show, not yours.
Transferring to the next match, I'm really excited to see Adam Priest and Tommy Billington back. Why they put them with Jay Lethal, I'll never know.
Because they got nothing else to do.
There's so many other people they could have put them with in the back. So many that are looking for a match. Does Jay Lethal really need another match?
To be honest with you, like I was like, Jay Lethal, why is he here? Exactly the same thing, you know. And then like 3 minutes, like match was like what, 5 minutes long, and then like Jay takes the pin, and I'm like, well, that's fine, too.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But yeah, Adam Priest and Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington, like Yes, love them.
Get these guys in a tag tournament here. I mean, they're both ridiculously talented.
Yeah. There's one thing that I like about there's one thing about Tommy Billington. He does the diving headbutt, right?
Yeah.
He's not that big of a guy, so it looks a little silly, right? And we all know
it does, but it causes the same level of CTE for the other guys that did it. So he's right on track.
It's my point exactly, right? This is my nerd brain going. Dynamite also used to do a diving back elbow, so from the top. So maybe go with that.
If
it works for Danielson, it works for him.
So we all knew what this was because this match was a vehicle for what we got afterwards. So
the swirl.
Well, I mean, yes, but we don't really. I'm gonna be so for real. Blake Christian down. Love you. Don't really care about the swirl right now. But these last 3 pictures, this was heartbreak, and I lived. I was just like, I lived because Daddy Magic has been wanting. And again, I am mad that some of these social media promos do not get aired because some of them need to.
They're so fire.
The one that had Daddy Magic and the Paragon last week, after their loss last week, Daddy Magic, brilliant promo. I need more of that. We need to air these. But Daddy Magic in that promo wants answers from Daniel Garcia, and he's not going away until Daniel says it to his face. And you know what? Daniel, Mr. Garcia, 10 toes down, stood on business, and let him know. Be like, you want to know why? Here's why. Because me and you, we were brothers. But I also made the decision that I wanted to win, and I want to be around winners. And Daddy Magic, I was tired of being around losers, and basically called Daddy Magic losers. And I'm like, cool hand, Ange. I smell you coming back for a little bit. Daddy Magic. I was just like, this is going to be long-term storytelling. Matt Menard here is going to be the catalyst whenever we decide to bring Daniel back to the light side. But give me a match. Give me a crazy stipulation. Let it be blood. Good storytelling. How far is Danny willing to go to shut off?
We know Matt Menard does well and bleeds very well, as he did the last time where they opened him well up. So it's coming. I don't know if it's going to be anything to do with the fact that the entire Death Rider team is going to beat him up anyways, but we need to see something like that coming through and at least getting him out of his way. This is also calling for a certain wrestler that's away that we're happy is away coming back and eating into this somehow.
Maybe.
I don't want it to be. I don't want to have, El Nueve come back and have things.
No, I don't want that either. But if anything, I was just like, you know what, Tony, we're doing okay and we're doing pretty good without him. So let's keep him off our screen for a little bit. Or just never bring him back. We're doing okay.
We are. We're totally being fine.
But yep, Daniel Garcia finally said the loud thought, with words. Daddy Magic is a loser, and Daniel started hanging out with losers. I was like, ouch. But also,
so am I.
Yeah. Anyways, but this is not over. Can't wait to see what comes of it next.
I love Mox going, oh, damn.
Okay, we're gonna go back really quickly. Moxley is has gotten really good at just being the on the side shit stir. He's literally that cat from the Shrek franchise. It's like, ooh. He's that meme. I love that Moxley has kind of not taken himself so seriously over the last year. I was just like, he's gonna bleed, and that's all we need him to be. But I love that he's just his comedy is very dry. He's just like, ooh, not even changing facial expression. It's just deadpan, and it's just like, ooh.
Like that time where him and Hangman were having a face to face before All In, and somebody the crowd started chanting "You're bald," and he was like, "What?
What? You noticed? You noticed?
I love
Excuse me?
Oh my goodness.
Cut him up for the look.
For real. But we will be keeping everyone informed about the developing heartbreak of Daddy Magic and Daniel Garcia. They're looking for a new doctor. Moving on.
Pretty much.
At least Nick Wayne is still on television.
Yeah, but Kip, you got to do better stuff. I know you can do better stuff.
Mr. Sabian, we know what you and Penelope can do together. So, like, when you were with Miro, it's probably some of the best stuff you had. And that's when we literally had an arcade fight. Like, everybody was fighting machine. It was crazy. And that's when Stat popped out in the arcade claw machine as the alien. Is so good. Anyways, moving on. Yes. More women's action. Jamie Hayter versus Anna Jay. Anna Jay, girl, is another one. TJ had a really good week this week, y'all. TJ had a
If that would have been the case, Dungeon Mistress Erica, if Rico had been the special guest referee, but I don't think we're there at that point. This was a lot of fun. Anna Jay's working a lot better now. I like that she's at least a little more fluid in the ring. Jamie got in a lot of her power stuff, and Anna sold it really well. This was really fun to watch.
It really, really was. Jamie Hayter with the win.
Well, of course.
Yeah. I mean, but this. Listen, go back a slide. Hold on. What do you mean go back a slide?
Who's running this show now? Hold on.
Be like, okay, just for you, we will. Like.
That makes it even more funny.
Yes, exactly. Anyways, back to the women's action. Jamie Hayter, Anna Jay, great stuff. Jamie wins. But again, we have to balance the scales. Jamie wins, which means that later on, is she about to get the short end of the stick? We're going to talk about that later.
Why does she always get beat up just when she's winning? Like, I'm really getting kind of sick of that thing. Like, she needs to rise above it.
For reals. I think once we get past Blood and Guts, then we'll probably get to where we need to be. But Jamie Hayter for the win. Love it.
This was hysterical. This was so hysterical.
Oh my God, so good.
Love this. I was like, they're not the Acclaimed, you guys. But honestly,
I'm so glad they have finally figured out what to do with them. Like, this is just entertaining because they were going nowhere on their own. And look, it's Large William and his small friend.
The new Defy Men's Champion, the Bounty Hunter, you know. I was just like...
Brian Keith.
I was just like...
Yeah. Oh, man. I love, like Bowen's overcompensating here.
Well, and I feel like this is also like the journalistic integrity of this is a little down because her husband shows up when the Acclaimed is there showing off their pictures.
This is literally, I love that right now. What we're doing is like this unintentional with Max and Anthony. It's just like they're literally having a dick measuring contest. It's like they're trying to one up each other with their supposed, you know, acclamations, and then here comes Large William and Brian Keith, just like, we gonna fight next week. And Jerry Lynn is being a menace right now. He's just like, Jerry Lynn has taken over for Daddy Ass, and I was just like, yep. So Jerry Lynn is trying to get these guys together, and it's just like, nah, we're good. At Homecoming, it's gonna be these two, Max and Anthony versus, you know, Large William and the Bounty Hunter. I love Anthony Bowen's tweet on this match. He's like, what the Jerry Lynn is just like, just totally disregards us. Love it.
Yeah, no.
But I'm here
for this. Why is Jerry Lynn here?
Seriously, Jerry Lynn, why are we doing this? Like, what's the ulterior motive? Like, y'all.
I feel like this would have been Christopher Daniels if it was last year, just for the hell of it.
Well, I mean, you're probably 100% right, but Christopher Daniels is nowhere to be seen, as well as the rest of his faction. They're relegated to ROH, at least for the last 2 weeks.
There we go.
It hurts me to say that.
Like sitting at home, like, what do you got for me this week, Tony? We're putting you back with the Acclaimed. Okay. I'm not gonna make it to work today.
It's whatever, man. I guess. But we move on though.
Roosh is about to take a large poop.
Can this was a squash match. Oh, this team never stood a chance, especially you, Cha-Cha Charlie. Like, you never stood a chance. Literally, this can be described as Roosh wrecks house, but let Sammy get some offense in and tag Sammy in for the win.
Well, on top of the fact, also, we're going to keep Sammy on Collision so he doesn't run into Andrade because there's going to be a fight backstage.
Oh my! Round 2 fight.
And
Erica,
who will Roosh choose?
Erica, I love that comment, but I can't put it on top for
Yeah.
No, but honestly, same.
Large William will top anybody anyway.
That man is so large. Anyways, but so I want to talk about this. So this was the squash match. Roosh wrecks house, tags in Sammy to get some stuff in for the win. But in tandem with what happens afterwards, though, is just amazing.
I don't know what drugs they were on booking Collision this week, but dear God.
I just
what was it when Sammy hits that like senton off the top, Nigel like on commentary, like because he landed it flush, right? Like he didn't get any gap. He landed right on top of the guy. Nigel's like, ooh.
You could see the wind being knocked out of him as Sammy came down. It was crazy.
I know. Like, oh, that poor guy.
Cha-Cha Charlie never stood a chance. Pay that man extra. But again, in tandem, after the Roosh and Sammy win, we get this match. And again, I agree with you, JBL. I don't know what kind of drugs the bookers are on for this week of Collision, but I would like to thank them.
Yes.
Eddie Kingston versus Dralistico. I was just like, yes, Papa is back, Papa is back, and he wins.
he looked a lot more comfortable being back again. Like, unlike his one at the last pay-per-view, like he actually looked like he had taken some more reps and was feeling it again. So I'm glad to see him back up to speed.
Yeah, Dralistico, it's great. Like, I think he's one of those guys that were like, he thinks he's Bruce, right? But he doesn't have nearly the charisma or or the timing. But like, I like the pivot from going from Big Bill and Brian Keith to LFI with Sammy and Eddie.
Start over, Benny. You got this. I know your words. It's coming.
Hook and Eddie. Pivoting to LFI. I really like that one because it's a callback to an old feud that they had back in 22, and they never really resolved that one. They were just like, "Here's a match, go talk shit." Boom.
Jeez.
Eddie Kingston beats Dralistico, and again, I'm here for this feud between the Hook and Kingston and LFI. So. That'd be fun. I think so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Moving on. MXN Collection. You never stood a chance, but yes. Weird characters. This is a hate crime. Just kidding.
And yet, we love them for everything they're doing. It's so nice.
MXM Collection. We have the whole squad out here. They are so good. I was laughing my ass off before the match happened. Oh my God.
When are they facing Dalton Castle and the Outrunners?
Yes. The world is not ready for that queer explosion.
Yes, they are, because then you can have Johnny Mundo be dragged off by his legs.
Put them all on Mystery Wrestling, get a tent match going.
I would. Oh my gosh. It wouldn't be a tent though. It would be like one of those like pop-up dressing rooms or something else. So the spray tan thing.
Yes. But anyways, so MXM Collection has a bit in the beginning. The Don Fallis family come out, and I was just like, oh boy. MXM Collection gets watched. I mean, there's nothing else to say. They get lost. And then we go from one queer group to another.
The most queer group, because we love it to death.
Yeah.
God, yes. I
love everything about this.
So I'm going to say that my daughter doesn't watch a ton of wrestling. When she does, she can. But she fell in love with Dalton Castle a couple of years ago. When I mentioned that he's been back on TV, she's like, I have to watch everything he's done. And she's like, Dalton Castle.
Listen, Dalton Castle and the Outrunners is like a recipe for success. Now, have them develop, give them some wins, have them, go through a quick feud, but I'm ready. I'm not going to lie. I love the Ops. I really, really do. But I would love to see these three become trios champs.
And take on MXM Collection. I see where this is going.
Yes. Give me that, please. Like, that's what I want to see. Like, in the words of ballroom culture, like, this is what I want to see.
I mean, what I want to see is Dalton Castle dethrone Kyle Fletcher and become the TBS champion. But that's beside the point.
The promos alone would be amazing. But the match itself would even be crazier. Because we've seen Kyle and Dalton kind of go at it a little bit like 2 years ago in ROH, and it was glorious. Like,
oh man!
Listen, Erica, if there's a faction that you need to get behind, this is the one. I'm like, I put my stakes as a wrestling fan on it. This is the one.
Benny, what were you saying though?
I was gonna say that like Lexi and Dalton, like this whole promo here probably doesn't work if Lexi doesn't ride along with him.
Literally.
So Benny, did you see when Lexi was down in ROH with Dalton Castle?
The cheese promo, the cheese promo.
Him standing in a mop bucket, him in, like we knew this is a gold mine.
Oh yeah, like him like hiding in the sports like dryer.
Yeah, exactly.
Dalton, are you in the dryer?
That's where I belong.
And Lexi's like, you need to get out of the dryer.
So yes, we knew that chemistry was there, and the Outrunners just add another level to it because they are truly the oldest men in the world and an 80s throwback in the best possible way.
I love it. Listen, just on one match alone, I made Mama Laguillo a fan of the Outrunners because they put up one hell of a match against FTR at Collision 100. I was like,
they did.
I was like, put some gold on these boys. They can wrestle their ass. Like, anyways, Dog Castle wasn't sure by the beginning of this promo how he was going to top his next performance, but with the Outrunners being, his magician hands, like, I can't wait. And you're right, 100% Benny. Dom Castle is great, but Lexi with him makes it amazingly. Hell, Dalton stuck in the dryer.
Oh no, stepsister. Anyway,
no, right, really, right in front of my salad. Anyways, I love it. I can't wait.
Oh,
because she's a masochist. So if Jamie wins, that means she's going to get beat up at some point in the episode.
Yep. And so it's Queen Aminata and everyone else involved in our team.
Triangle of Madness beat up Jamie and Queen. So we already know because it was announced November 17th is Blood and Guts. We are slowly building this up and burning the fuse bit by bit because these teams are going to come together and implode in a glorious bloody mess at Blood and Guts in November. But we gotta get them all together. So, but yet again, Jamie wins, which means she's about to get the bricks beat off of her later in some capacity.
Do we see whatever her name is going to be here, Dakota Kai, joining the Blood and Guts match at some point?
That'd be amazing, but I hope she doesn't hurt herself.
Same.
Please, that knee can't take it, girl. Please, no.
Also, I'm trying to figure out, like, I know that they're not signed to AEW anymore, but it is Abaddon season. Like, could we get Abaddon back again, maybe for October, just something?
Just for one-off. I mean, so excited to see them / her at Mystery Wrestling in a couple weeks. It's gonna be so
and then Jesse and I are seeing them / her live here in Vermont in November.
Yes,
at GCW.
Yes, Queens. Anyways, I'm excited for Blood and Guts. Jamie and Queen Aminata, they'll probably get their lick back this week.
Ooh, licks.
I like that they're at least trying the past few weeks with the build of Blood and Guts.
That's very
it was very much spinning the tires since All In, or even Forbidden Door, rather.
Last 2
Forbidden Door.
months, man, I swear.
It was like, oh, we do something, and now they're doing something. So neat.
Anyway, so alrighty, we got to move on though because we still got a couple things to talk about. We got Kevin Knight versus a member of FTR, so we didn't know if it was going to be Big Stoke. We didn't know if it was going to be Burt Reynolds himself, Dax, or thick booty himself, Cash. Listen, y'all are some freaks on the internet, especially somebody cropped and kept replaying and did an edit for when Cash and Dax were walking up the ramp after y'all in Texas, and I was just like, Cash, I did not know you had some cake back there, sir. Like, what's going on? What's happening? I was like,
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
Oh, yeah.
but that record is, you know what? That's for After Hours podcast. But Kevin Knight was gonna face off a member of FTR. We got a little bit of squabbling because Kevin was trying to fight everybody off, and it turned out to be Dax. So I am not going to lie. As soon as I saw this, I was like, I don't like it, but Kevin's probably going to lose, but that's okay. Spoiler alert. I was so happy to be proven wrong. This is a big statement for Kevin Knight. He beats Dax, which I was like, I literally was just like, oh my gosh. Amazing. This match was also really good. Dax and Kevin Knight are so good. And I'm just like, Kevin's just out here fighting everybody amazing. Him and Speedball have fought some amazing people in the short time they've been in here in AEW. And I was just like, yes, this was great.
And they're finally getting wins. Like, this is the biggest thing, is they're actually allowed to win a match or two. Like, yeah.
When I saw this graphic, I was like, well, it's Dax,
Oh, did you know?
How could you tell?
Because like Dax is the only one that is willing to do singles matches.
That is also very true. Because very true.
Because we have to make sure that that Cash doesn't end up getting alleged aggravated assault again. So
no. Oh man.
I love like the story of like because I'm a nerd. That if it's Dax, obviously it's going to be Dax. He only wrestles singles matches, but he always loses. He's never won a single match, but he always puts on a great match. And I'm happy to see Kevin Knight get a win finally. That wasn't in a 8-man.
Right, exactly. He was on his own. He showed what skill he has, and FTR Ball took the pin.
Yes, he did, which I was very surprised. I was like, love it. Also, shout out to Jet Speed, so Kevin Knight and Speedball, for literally being Miles and Sonic. Like Miles Tails Prowler and Sonic in their colors of gear recently. I love it. Kevin Knight may have won this match, but oh no, it would not be too good of a night for Jet Speed.
Can't celebrate for long.
No, because they beat.
Are you saying the bad guys got the heat back in after the match in AEW?
No, never.
Be like, gas.
I am shocked.
I am not. So, hold up. I'm getting a phone call real quick. So y'all talk about
that is nothing.
Real quick.
Oh my God. So we have the end of the match. Willow comes out to confront Stokely, which, oh my God, Benny, like how badly did we want to see a Dr. Bomb there when he got put down that way?
Oh yeah. I love the out of all the Willow's feuds, Stokely's the one that keeps going back.
They have such a feud that needs to go on, but Willow is taken down, cannot put Stokely through because a returning Megan Bain with Penelope Ford comes to save Stokely. I did not see this pairing coming. I did not think this was going to be I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
I think this was less of a pairing and more of a service to Blood and Guts.
Very, very true.
that way they can sort of separate the two groups for right now, and like come back at it later on down the road.
Right, but Willow's been like teaming with Jet Speed being around, and like I know they're trying to put her in a bunch of different places, and I see that, but just it felt strange. Like, why would Megan Bayne even like come to any, like, it just doesn't make sense why she would come and like give services for this either. She's supposed to be above that. She's just a bruiser, not a bruiser for hire.
Yeah, it didn't really make that much sense.
It didn't. It was lovely to see, but
hopefully it'll work itself out on Collision.
It was Collision. Who knows if they're going to do anything about that? I have no idea anymore.
Oh,
no, yeah.
Listen, I love Megan, but I was like, I don't know if I like this.
It makes no sense.
Erica, sorry. So many macho guys with shaved chest, backs, arms, and legs. I'm getting mixed signals.
Oh, no, they're not mixed. They're complete signals for you.
Everybody's hot. So it's
honestly, wrestling. Listen, if you're not here for the lore, it's okay to just ogle sometimes. Respectfully, be like, yes. But I love Megan. I don't necessarily listen, Megan. I was like, hey, but I don't. I love Megan, but I don't know if this is the correct use for her right now. I was like, I thought we were building her into the blood and guts. Okay, never mind. I guess whatever.
It makes no sense to me. I'm completely flabbergasted by it.
My flabbers are gasted. Anyways,
I feel like it. It sort of like builds intrigue. Like, what the hell's going on here? Which will play out in the next.
Yeah. Benny, I don't know if that's intrigue or just what the hell is going on here. We don't understand this.
Like, I am confused. I am confused.
In wrestling.
So, more on this development as the weeks go on.
You gotta leave logic at the door, is what I'm saying.
We're trying.
Listen, I just gotta give claps to this, and then I'm just going to for itself. But like,
oh my god, they are so tied together. This was so good.
Oh my god, this is so beautiful. Like, talk about the reason that this episode was so gay, right?
Yes,
the gayest
lesbians.
Like Stat is usually like known for being sort of a butch type, right? Let's break it down.
She loves.
I mean,
yes.
Well, on the outside, right? On the outside, like if you're just looking at her, you would assume.
Right? I'd never assume anymore.
But
you know what they say about assuming. I'm just kidding.
Exactly. But like, I love that. Like, Stat is the one that's looking a little bit more feminine here, and Tony's looking a little bit more masculine here.
Lesbians.
And they sort of like flipped what their outside personas are, and then late in the ring, it decided to. Well, we can dissect it, I guess. This was awesome.
This was so good.
I gotta put this quote on screen. We are going to Pottery Barn. No, we are going to Home Depot. Oh, listen once again, and you know what? Chris is a part of this because this was another amazing promo. But Tony Storm once again in 2025, probably having the best promos of any person, male, female, and everybody in between, like in any wrestling promotion. Like, so good. And you know, I love this because this fourth picture where it's just them holding hands like they just broke up but they don't want to let go. I was like, that's a movie poster right there. That's money shot right there. And easily. I love that easily. And then Tony's like, listen, and I love that Stat's down for it. We don't have to wait till next week. And so they literally the embodiment of take off my earrings, girl, and start beating each other up. And then Triangle of Madness comes in. But then Harley Cameron comes in for the same. Again, Harley is friends with everybody.
Well, and also it's like the Harley verse because she's with different people in different shows now.
Maybe it's because they're like, Harley, Get some personality out of these people. Stand next to them.
I'm just like, I can't. I love this. And it sets up a trios match this upcoming week with Tony, Harley, and Stat taking on the Triangle of Madness. And I was like, I smell a Jamie and Queen Aminata jump in. jump in, girls, jump in. But this was everything. I love this. And I love that this was towards the tail end of the show. This was technically the semi-main event of Collision. Like, so good. And we got time. We got great promos. We got lesbians. Like, it was great. We got like metaphorical lesbians and some actual lesbians and all the women that were involved in this segment, because there are some actual lesbians in here.
Right.
We love
that.
Like,
that Tekla, like, I love these like screaming Henry Rollins promos that she's doing.
It's very funny to me to try to turn the captions on when that's happening, because who's ever doing them cannot keep up with her and has no idea what's coming out of her mouth.
Be like, y'all suck. Anyways. And scene. Anywho. Now let's talk about the actual main event where the heels got cheered. I was like, what is happening? I was like, what is happening right now?
When you have more personality than 2/3 of the other, group, it's not surprising.
That's true. But it's kind of true though, because we have, Los Grande Baldness Americano Latte in Hechicero, Don Fallis. Just kidding. So we have Hechicero, my baby daddy, Rocky Romero, and he can step on me anytime, Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk, taking on, Kyle and Roddy and whatever, man, Orange Cassidy.
I don't know how he has got in with the Paragon. It makes no sense why Orange Cassidy is there, like has them for backup, but I mean, they work well. They're very good workers, and there was a lot of great stuff in this match. Rocky Romero getting completely plastered all over the place.
I was like,
I think the reason is Indies?
But is it?
I don't know. The thing is, right, like, Hechicero, like, has, like, a really great theme song, and, like, all the good guys, the bad, they're supposed to be bad guys. Exactly. Even I got tripped up.
You did.
They all come out together. No Don Callis, who, by the way, is the reason that they get booed. Because everybody in this match appeared.
Jesus.
It's crazy
Everyone's
for
like,
sure.
Hey, all these guys! Like, no. This is wrestling is a morality play. It's good versus evil. Okay, you can't be everybody. You can't.
That is not how this works, Miss Kim. Like,
it's exactly how this works.
Exactly. Man. I mean, this was a fun main event. I thought I was in the Twilight Zone, but then I accepted it because this was also a lot of fun. And I can't believe I was saying this. I was like, I was kind of rooting for the bad guys to kind of win. By the end of it, I was like, oh, damn, they for real. Sorry.
Oh, you broke Mikey. I
can't, Erica. I can't. Sorry. I was just reading it as I was speaking, and literally my brain went so far left. All thoughts went out the window. I was like, that is so not like that is actually kind of close to what is on our screen.
I think Erica needs to do needs to do videos where she just names wrestlers without knowing anything about them and just puts that up there.
Be like, we are here with Erica, and she is going to talk about some wrestlers that she has no concept of, and give us like their what would their stage names be? What are their drag names? Like whatever. So yeah, let her daddy Miami Machismo and Puppy Play versus Americano, Cappuccino, and Coffee. But the last one would probably be more orange. But speaking of which, Paragon and Orange Cassidy win, and I was just like, I kind of wanted the bad guys to win this one. I'm not gonna lie, you guys.
I did too, but Rocky Romero was getting his ass handed to him most of that match.
Listen, Erica if you are comfortable with being on camera, we can do a pre-tape as like an extra video.
Erica, welcome to the full where Mikey makes friends with a fan and then puts them on our podcast. Benny is living proof.
I mean, listen, that is how Benny got this job. I'm not even going front. And technically, that's how everybody else, like the outside of the original 5 of us, did. Either they were friends of the 5 or through the internet.
My podcast.
But spoiler alert, I actually know Erica. We've been friends forever. So, but you know what? I'm like Thanos. I'm collecting like people to unintentionally be a part of this podcast.
Which is all wonderful. Just be aware, Erica, you jump in on this. If there are any shorts out there or anything that's edited, you are not going to be on camera at all. Mikey will just dominate the entirety of the algorithm.
The algorithm loves me. But also, I am the Don Fallis of BC WrestlePod because I am getting everybody on this show.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Well, Coffee is a ginger, so he can be an Orange Julius. I kid you not, we literally had a orange mimosa match between Orange Cassidy and El Nueve, back in
Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho, back in the ye old days of early AEW, which was, I love it.
But, so in this metaphor, is Orange Cassidy a blonde roast? Like, what are we going with?
That is very true. Also, welcome to the team now.
You got to update the graphic again.
Now there's like 15 of us. You know what? That is very fair. We don't have to.
So to find an animator.
We'll find an animator, or we'll just do a still shot of just like whatever you want it to be. Like we'll figure something out. Be like,
I mean, El Buntador might have an extra mask lying around.
We have luchador masks, and you know what? I would bestow it upon you, and you would not be culturally appropriating it because I bestowed it upon thee. But that is it for AEW. We went a little bit long with this one, but I had a blast. This is always fun. Tuesdays and Fridays end up being really, really fun for me because we just banter back and forth here, and the professor's not even here. So it's just like we went on forever.
Yeah. Like 35 minutes.
Oh, God.
I shudder to think when he finally returns, what's going to happen.
When he returns, it's about to be all blown chaos. It's going to be crazy. But that's going to be it for us here at All Elite Ensemble. We will be back next week to be reviewing Title Tuesday and Homecoming for AEW. I'm excited about that. And then if I remember, hold up, let me double check something.
Oh no.
Be like, oh no. Oh yeah, next Tuesday is our go home show and predictions for Wrestle Dream.
Yep.
Lord help us, Wrestle Dream is next weekend. Oh, I cannot. Anyways, but I'm excited. So next week we will be covering Title Tuesday for Dynamite and Homecoming for Collision and making our predictions for Wrestle Dream. But that is next week. Let's take a look at what we have remaining for the remainder of this week, because it's a bit of a short week, thank God. So not a lot of crazy stuff is happening, but let's take a look at everything, shall we? So we are on Tuesday the 7th. So tomorrow evening, we got our double dose of, power hour of double reviews on Wednesday. So we first have our NXT review show where Kilt and I will be reviewing the special NXT versus TNA Showdown episode, which is currently airing right now as we speak, where NXT and TNA are going at it. So watch me tomorrow night complaining and talking about how TNA got swept with, and TNA just got wiped. The TNA got wiped. I was just like, I hated going into this. I was like, NXT is probably about to defeat all of TNA, and it's going to be really bad. But hey, if you want to see me angry, come back tomorrow. But then if you want to balance that out by seeing me talk about stuff that I'd love, you should check out myself, El Buntador, and Will as we talk about CMLL goodness. Then on Friday, speaking of go-home shows, the whole entire TNA crew will be here to review TNA, which is the go-home edition before Bound for Glory, and we will be making our predictions which will lead us into Sunday, where we will be doing a live watch-along for TNA's Bound for Glory. We have some crazy matches. We have a tables match with 4 people who are way too old to still be doing this, with the Hardys and Team D3D. Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley. So that's going to be interesting. Gia Miller, who is our correspondent and, indie wrestling, we love her, hopefully beats the bricks off of Tessa Blanchard. So that's going to be fun. But you guys, the most anticipated match for me is our X Division Championship match because we have the youngest in charge, Leon Slater, taking on Mr. Bouncy Javon Evans. I was just like, they're both under the age of 21. Prepare yourselves. It's about to be on and popping. So that is going to start that is the match I am the most excited about, which is sad because I love Mike Santana. I was like, him and Trick is whatever. But Javon and Leon, sign me up. But that is our week this week. So I'm excited because that's going to be a whole lot of fun with reviews and all that good stuff. So let me just get this off really quickly. But thank you so much for tuning in for our All Elite Ensemble review. We got to get up on out of here because we did promise Benny a story to tell.
It's true. It's story time, Benny.
It's story time. We'd be like, it's story time with JVL, baby.
And Benny doesn't want that. He's still trying to finish up watching AEW at the same time he's been doing this review. So
for real. So make sure to tune into all the other stuff we got going on this week. Check out our social medias for that schedule. But until next time, from myself, JVL, Benny, and the rest of the BC WrestlePod family, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay biconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. I will be here tomorrow with Kilt, El Buntador, and Will for our NXT and CMLL reviews. But until then, for now, this is Sayonara. Adios. Have a good night. And until next time, peace.